The new SoundCloud era is trash. I was talking to Tracky and Lewis, by the way. They helped me on the Instagram page, so shout out them. We were discussing why music seems stale. And don't get me wrong, there's a bunch of artists that we're checking out lately. I mean, I like Dom Corleo, although he does sound like Destroy Lonely. That, you know, I'm not hating on here, but you know, that is the comparison that I draw. I like Glock 40 Spaz. I like Hard Rock, Southside Silhouette. There's a bunch of little underground guys right now. And I don't mean to say lil, because you know, they're getting big. They're probably getting signed as we speak, or maybe already signed. However, the reason that this generation feels stale, and I came to this realization, is a lot of these artists, one, are not musicians. They rap and like people gravitate towards them, not necessarily just because of the music. They gravitate towards them because they are cool. And that's a whole thing in itself. Like, you gotta be to have a gravitational brand, you gotta be cool. That's why Travis Scott, like, is so big. Not only does he make good music, but like everybody looks to him like, yo, shit, the aesthetic, man. Whatever. He's fucking Kylie Jenner, the prodigy chick from, I don't know, like she's Cleopatra from the Egyptian times. And among many other examples. So they look cool. That's why brand is so important now in like your aesthetic. But because of that, because we become too dependent on the looks and the aesthetic and the brand, the music kind of took a back seat. And so a lot of these artists who aren't even like actually that good at making music, don't get me wrong, they got a couple songs like they hopped on some pretty fire beats. Like the producers are pretty talented nowadays, although there are a lot of trash, but that's just what's happening now. There's a lot of trash because there's so much content in every realm. That goes for musicians, that goes for actors, that goes for YouTubers. I'm fucking trash at YouTube. That goes for producers, everything. But the top of the top, they're getting better and better. But this generation of rappers, they aren't actually like musically that talented. They got a couple songs that are bangers. They hopped on trendy beats and they're cool. So now, once they got a little bit of success and people are looking for 20, 30 song albums, they can't make that because that shit is hard. That shit is made for the actual musicians, y'all. For somebody who doesn't even know music theory. And look, I don't know music theory either, so I'm not trying to say, but I'm not making albums, bro. So for someone who doesn't know music theory, it's hard to make 20 song albums. Am I wrong? Like, that's why rap isn't just, it's not hitting like it used to. Like, again, I'm listening to like some old shit lately. I'm listening to like T-Pain and like old Lil Wayne and what else? Like Akon, bro. I don't even know why. Or some 50 Cent or let's see, Made in Tokyo. That shit was, so that's why music feels weird. And it's just, I don't think it'll last that long. Like, again, we have some talented people coming up, so just wait on it. But we got too high on our supply because there were a lot of underground rappers that came up, and ever since like 2016 there was a kind of dead period too. We just didn't experience that, or you know, it wasn't as 2016 was so powerful that people are looking for that, and it's just gonna be hard because that generation was so talented, you know, like the Juice WRLDs, the X, the Uzis, the Cardi, so on and so forth. Tokyo fell off so hard. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him, man. I think he just stopped dropping, but his sound with the skr, that was amazing. He was one of my favorite. Yeet is talented too. I don't consider him one of the artists that makes music just for the money. A lot of these artists, as I was saying, not musically talented, but also at this point, just because they're clouded, and this kind of comes from the first SoundCloud generation with like the Lil Pumps and Smoke Perps and whatever, although they have some banger songs, but you get the point. Basically in 2016, 2017, you could color your fucking dreads blue or yellow or pink, whatever, Kid Boo or whatever, and that's like your brand. That's your personality trait now. And somehow they'd blow up just because they had a cool aesthetic. So this problem didn't stem from this generation. I just want to make that clear. But so now a lot of these rappers, once they get a little bit of clout, they start making music, and it's making them money. So that's the only reason they're doing it now. I mean, you'll see on these Instagram stories for these rappers, they don't actually like making music, or they don't actually spend that much time making music. It's just a lot of freestyles. Like these rappers ain't even writing down shit. And I'm not saying you have to, but it's really, they just see it as a lick at this point. It's not like they're, you know, Juice WRLD or Travis. I mean, I know a lot of people shit on Travis because he has ghostwriters and shit, but like, I assume that he gets in the studio and he's like trying to mess around with a whole bunch of different sounds. Like he's more of like a engineer type producer, where you can tell that he puts a lot of effort into the music, and maybe that's why it takes a lot of time. Same thing with like Cardi in beat selection, or Pierre with the engineering. You know, Pierre loves this shit. So yeah, I think that's the main issue. Like, they're doing it for the money, and two, they were never really like that musically talented. They were just cool, and so that combination just encourages 20 track albums to make as much money as possible, because that's how you do it. You get a big single, then you drop 20 songs, and that's how you get the most streams and the most money, and you can sell it to a record label or a distribution company, get a bag out of it. And then it's just like half of it or even more is just filler tracks. Pierre had uTorrent on his laptop. You'll never buy plugins again. Yo, don't get viruses though. You're gonna end up like having hella CP on your computer, and the FBI is gonna knock your door down and come get you.